you're not listening to Pubcast, the terrorists are winning. That's what Jay Moore says.
Welcome to the Pubcast. Sit down and enjoy a pint.
Welcome to the Pubcast, and in this episode, I'm joined by Allison, Eric, Rob, and newcomer Rachel to discuss one of the funniest movies of the last 30 years, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. We all love this movie, and upon rewatching it, I think we were all kind of surprised at how well it holds up, even 27 years later. This might be Jim Carrey at his very best, and we all had a blast going over all the memorable scenes and quotable lines from this crazy movie. So let's get to it. Our breakdown of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
They faced incredible odds and unbeatable enemies to earn the name hero. But now there's a new way to spell action. Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. He's the best there is.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Pet Detective.
Actually, he's the only one there is.
You really love animals, don't you?
If it gets cold enough.
Now, the mascot of the Miami Dolphins has been kidnapped.
Oh, righty then.
And he's on the case of a lifetime.
Listen, Pet Dick, how would you like me to make your life a living hell?
Well, I'm not really ready for a relationship, Lois.
There's no place he won't go.
Captain's log, starting 23.9.
Ace, get out of the tank.
I just can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power.
Nothing he won't do. And no one he can't handle.
I could do anything to embarrass me in front of camp.
What? Like this?
Hi, Captain Stubing.
Because when this pet detective gets the scent,
Where's Dan Marino?
Hi, I'm Dan Marino.
Reno, why?
Because he's about to join Snowflake.
he'll follow it anywhere.
Here's Snowflake.
Jim Carrey is
Do not go in there. Woo!
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yes, yes, yes!
All right. Ace Ventura. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. 1994. This is the no-nonsense plot we all love. A goofy detective specializing in animals goes in search of the missing mascot of the Miami Dolphins. Great.
Perfect.
Yep.
And we're off to a raring, rolling start.
That's
You know, part of the challenge I think some of those brief plot summaries face is that the talent to really nail that type of writing
is to never use an adjective. Like
no, but so thinned out. I mean, with the demise of TV guide sections in the newspaper, and then the famed TV guide, and even the more fulsome guys that used to be on cable, no one has to sum up a very complex, amazing story in 3 sentences.
dying art.
I've got to feel that they have created some sort of AI that is writing these. Like
I think that's right. It feels soulless.
Yeah. So, all right, 1994. I believe this came out like in February, like early in the year. Where were you? When did you see it? Or where did you see it? What impact did it have? What was your reaction? What are your thoughts on Ace Ventura? Al?
Did we see this together while we were in college?
That's what I was thinking. I'm sure we saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
And if it came out in, let's say, February, March, we would have gone to see it in college.
Right.
Right? Must have.
I don't remember seeing it in a theater, but like you, I had to have.
It was on our. I feel like he was on a loop in our apartment as senior year or junior year.
Did you rent it at Blockbuster?
It's possible. It was on. We knew it by heart pretty quickly, and it was on our TV a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it strange that I wouldn't remember because, one of my favorite things is the big movie theater laugh, when they laugh. And I don't recall that. So I don't know if I saw it.
I have no memory of it.
I know, but that's why it feels like we might have seen it in the theater. Like it would have been like Varsity Theater or something like that.
Oh, one of those. I don't know.
Oh, it could have been that.
Rachel, when did you see this sucker?
I can't remember if I must have seen it in the theaters while I was in high school.
Say that just to rub it in.
But and I don't remember seeing it in the theater, but I must have. But I watched it so much after that.
It was on TV so often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eric, how about you?
I definitely did not see it in the theater. I rented it right away though when it came out on video.
Yeah.
Rented it.
So when we were watching it, we watched it actually this afternoon, cutting it as close as we could to the deadline to get this podcast done.
I would argue it was the evening.
I had like a buffer of like half an hour.
Yeah, that was pretty much us too. So watching this, we were a quarter of the way through, and I look over to Allison. I'm like, "This movie is great. This is a delight, top to bottom, front to back. God. This is a fantastic movie." And on top of that, the character of Ace Ventura.
Yes.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it is the most fully formed original comedic character of the last 30 years.
Whoa.
Next to or side by side Austin Powers. The way he walks, the way he talks, the way he drives a car, the fucking hair, everything.
Every physical action is thought out.
It's amazing.
I do love to that point, every action. He is the only person who will look at you, turn his body first, and then turn his head to go in another direction. Like I can't get enough of that rotation at all. No.
Yes, the head always seems to swivel around.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what filming would have been like, to see him acting live and doing this constantly.
I have to say, just in general, in looking into the movie and trying to pull out, some, I hesitate to use the term research. There was so much thinking that went into this movie and so much input prior to it being made that I find it one of the more interesting backstories, even because this is a movie that I could kind of take or leave originally. And there's just, the thought that Jim Carrey and the director put into how they were going to do the whole thing was like impressive. And just how long it kicked around Hollywood. Like this was like a viable story for a long time.
And how much money they didn't spend on it.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't realize it was around for so long and so many iterations and people attached to it and, pulled out and changed and all that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, but completely different directions, like this is going to be more of a serious Sherlock Holmes homage, to who can be funny but not too funny. And then even these guys, Jim Carrey and how do you say Tom's name? The director's name.
Take a stab. Try it.
Shadyak.
We're gonna go with that. Sure.
Even how they had a much darker vision, like kind of like ominous and disturbing, where test audiences weren't reacting well to it. So it's just like this, like even they didn't necessarily make the first version of the movie they thought they were going to be while they were filming it.
No.
Yeah. And I think, the characters is so, everything about Ace is so exaggerated. Like people didn't even know what to do with the character and the behavior. Like, I think initially, like, people were like, this is like really over the top. It's like watching, what is it, Fire Marshal Bill or whatever for 2 hours. Like, it's just, it's a lot of kind of over the top.
It's a cartoon character.
Yeah. a lot of over the top, but then it became like this pop culture classic, certainly over time.
Yeah. Watching it again, I haven't seen it really at all in, I don't know, a decade or more, really. I forgot how much I liked it. And it's so, we'll get to this later, but it's so quotable. Every scene has a line that you remember, or a movement gesture you remember, or a scene that stands out to you. That this movie, I was surprised how much I liked it again. It was great.
Well, and
Rob, you were laughing a lot. Like, you were sitting next to me and you were laughing at a lot of.
I mean, it is a one-liner and joke, like, just.
Well, and you guys were talking about Rachel was talking about this in the lead up to this podcast. That, make sure you get the real version, because the TNT version that's free on Hulu or wherever is edited down and lacks a couple scenes. But this thing, it is edited down. It is a tight movie. It is 86 minutes, or 96 minutes for the extended cut. So an hour and a half, and it is there is not a missed opportunity or a lazy moment or second in this whole movie. It is snappy and to the point. Every single scene. It's great.
Well, I would just to kind of talk a little bit more about the character.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a movie like this, and it's like, okay, it's kind of a one and done. And I know we're not talking about the second one. But the fact that I enjoyed the second one as much, if not even a bit more, I was kind of surprised that, because I don't know that I had the initial reaction. Like, I thought it was funny, but it was one of those things where, again, like, you had to watch it a couple times, and you appreciated a lot of stuff that you missed the first time that you watch it. And so then, I wasn't sure how I'd feel about the second one, and I liked it just as much. And so, again, now, going back to Brendan, your original comment about this, fully formed character, I would agree with that. It's and like you, it's been a long time since I've seen it, and I did enjoy watching it today for sure.
Fantastic.
I don't want to spend any more time on the sequel or the third movie, which I discovered in looking into this. But imagine going into the sequel and, given the tight, rapid fire, well thought out original, going into that sequel as the writer or Jim Carrey and saying, "Oh my God, we have to top this," and then doing it in the first 3 minutes with the birthing scene.
Oh yeah.
It too. So it's like, as soon as that scene happened, you're like, oh, well, this is already better.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to box office performance.
Okay.
All right. This is 1994, a strong year for movies. Ace Ventura cost approximately $15 million to make.
Oh.
And it made $70 million domestic.
70?
70. So hugely successful, right?
So Brendan, just quickly, because I saw an interview that Shadyac gave, and he said 11 million to make and 107 million gross, and there was confusion even in that article, but the point is, it was a huge return.
Yeah, I saw the 11 mentioned, but I saw 15 more than once, so I'm going with that. And the 107 is worldwide, I believe. I'm doing domestic here. So 70 million. It did not make the top 10, which is unusual for one of our past movies or recent movies. It didn't make the top 15, but it was number 16.
Got it.
So I'm not going to go through all the numbers of these movies, but here are the movies right in front of it. Number 1 is The Lion King, Forrest Gump, True Lies, The Santa Claus, The Flintstones, Clear and Present Danger. The Flintstones. That's the whole country takes an L on that one.
Well, there should be a blue ribbon commission for
on there. That's terrible. Clear Present Danger, Speed, The Mask.
Wow, Jim Carrey, big year.
Jim. I mean, I'm sure we'll get back to it, but the streak that this movie started for this guy.
So The Mask, Mrs. Doubtfire, Interview with the Vampire, Maverick, then a little movie called Schindler's List, The Client, Philadelphia, Stargate, and then we get to Ace Ventura.
Oh my gosh, what a list.
What a year. That's an insane year.
And right after it, so that's 16. The next few, and I mentioned these for a reason, you'll see, are Star Trek Generations, Wolf, that's a terrible movie, Pulp Fiction, Grumpy Old Men, The Specialist, and then at number 22, Dumb and Dumber.
Wow.
So in 1994, Jim Carrey has in theaters The Mask, Ace Ventura, and Dumb and Dumber.
Wow.
In one calendar year.
Man.
Wow.
That's the year of Jim Carrey.
Yeah. He made things.
I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about his career, but like that's just the first like quarter of the big movies you could list that he was in, right?
It's the kickoff.
Yeah, but he throws down those, and they're all in the top 22 grossing movies of the year. None of those are big, didn't cost much to make. After that, he's a made man in Hollywood for a decade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, I'd say.
Okay, the Rotten Tomatoes score. Let's go with the audience. What do you think the audience gave Ace Ventura: Pet Detective?
But do we think this will be the biggest spread ever between audience and critic? I don't know. Maybe maybe
I
not.
can't answer that because I have the info. But
I would think it would be of the wider range. Okay, so audience first. I'm gonna go with 75.
Okay, Eric.
I'll say 65.
Rob?
Yeah, I think you guys are way low. 60s fresh, right?
Yeah, 60s fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 83.
Rach?
I don't know. I would go with 80.
Ace Ventura, the audience gave it a 57%.
Whoa.
I know.
Kidding me?
Wow.
So not even certified fresh.
Are you kidding me?
For audiences?
How does the audience not love this? The audience should be 85.
But they paid for it. They paid for it.
But I wonder, though, if it's kind of like what my reaction was. Like, I thought it was funny, but I didn't love it until I watched it a bunch of times. Like, and then it became...
You don't have to love it. So the way this is scored is basically, do you give it a thumbs up or thumbs down? So 57% of the audience gave it a thumbs up. Yeah.
Oh. Well,
I will say...
I would say this, that I think it depends on the audience. I mean, I think this is geared toward a younger audience. So if there was older folks commenting, I could see they would give
So when stuff like this happens, my question is always like, you saw the trailers, you saw what this was supposed to be, and then you went in and bought your ticket, and it executed, it was exactly what it was advertised to be. And you came out and you're like, no.
Yeah,
there
was no level of sophisticated humor shown in the trailer.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah, so that number to me is shocking.
I almost allege we need a recount.
Okay, so the audience is 57. What do we think the critics are?
I think we were brutal.
Oh man,
I agree that critics were.
I'm gonna say 40.
Eric?
I'll say 50.
Rob?
Yeah, I'm trying to wonder if they, maybe not appreciated but respected Jim Carrey's intensity. But I'm going to say no, they did not. 42.
His Price is rating you on that one. Rach?
I'll say 35.
Whoa.
The critics gave it a 49.
Wow.
49.
Gosh.
So that's about what I would expect. Fine.
Yeah.
But the audience blew it. Shame on you, USA.
It'd be interesting to hear how people would view it now, like rate it now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I just for the record, I think it's funnier than
agreed. And both of our boys have watched it. You know, they're teenagers, and they both thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Did Declan see it?
Yeah. I asked him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you don't see that type of really character acting unless you're watching, a variety show or Saturday Night Live. So
I do. Yeah.
See that. But there's the homophobic kind of stuff, and it's old fashioned.
Yeah.
So that.
Yeah.
That definitely required the director, I think, at one point had to kind of go on the record to talk about that because LGBT advocates.
Then?
Yeah. And I think since have talked about it being transphobic and homophobic and
I mean, I think it's all generally in a fairly good spirit, but there is no doubt that it's out of time.
Yeah.
It's
I think it was more about spoofing the Crying Game than it was about anything else. They just wanted to.
So that's part of the trivia. I didn't write this down, but I read it. Was that that was added at the very end?
Yeah.
That they may have shot the scene or whatever, but adding the music in the shower and then at the end as well.
Right.
They didn't do that because the Crying Game came out the same year, I believe, right? So they sort of were able to tack that in and play off of that. But
yeah, I mean, the bulk of the story that is somewhat uncomfortable was already in place, right?
Okay, so this is the trivia part. I want to get to this one part just because this is minutia that doesn't matter, but I'm throwing it in because this is trivia. So the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins are the team that are 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl. I think that's the least believable thing in the entire movie is that the Dolphins are in the Super Bowl. But so it said
Dan Marino looked like he's 87 years old, by the way.
33.
He looks old.
So
to be playing football.
They say Ray Finkel lost the Super Bowl in 84, 10 years prior, by 1 point because he missed an extra point or something, right? Actually, the Niners beat the Dolphins in that Super Bowl 38-16.
Oh.
Not that it matters, but I wanted to check it out.
And that was Marino's rookie year, right?
Yeah. And so, as the Dolphins being the Super Bowl is the most far-fetched thing. In 1994, the Dolphins were 10-6, lost to the Chargers 22-21 in the second round of the playoffs. Didn't get anywhere near the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But our boy Dan Marino, who was 33 and looks like he was 53, made the Pro Bowl with 4,400 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions.
Huh.
So,
oh my God!
Yeah.
Interesting.
The end for the NFL facts, right?
Yeah.
There.
Well, and
an endorsement deal with Isotoner.
Isotoner.
Yeah.
Isotoner. Someone needs to do an investigation on that company.
That's a lot.
I heard Jeffrey Epstein.
Are there other NFL teams that have animals as mascots? There's the Rams. So the Rams, the Bears. Okay. So I was trying to think of
the Rams and Bengals.
Why specifically they had to pick the Dolphins, and I guess that's to have the pet, the pet detective be the.
I want to
person
address that in the recast.
Okay, that's fine.
Because do we keep Miami as the city? Do we change it?
Right.
And then there's a whole, what do you do with that?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, as soon as I asked that question earlier, I'm like, yeah, of course there's like 17 teams that have animals. So I retract my question, but At the moment, I was like, wait a minute.
As you asked that, my answer inside my head was, yeah, fucking all of them. Like almost every team is an animal.
Well, I was like Buccaneers and like I was like Packers, okay, Patriots, all right.
You live in Chicago.
I know. So I mean, it was. I couldn't even stop the question from coming out of my mouth. So I apologize to those that are listening. I retract my question.
Okay. So this was one of the things that you laughed and you didn't expect to laugh at watching the movie this afternoon. The short scene during the party when Ace pulls the cellist arm and he misplays that thing.
So good.
That was an improvised Jim Carrey.
So good.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the plan.
So good.
Fucking fantastic.
That's it's the subtle things that just make it pop.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I always kind of pictured Jim Carrey as this quick thinking improv guy. But I now realize that was wrong, not just in this movie, but thinking back, he's a preparer, right? Like he tries to mimic very closely. And the research also, said that little anecdote about pulling the cellist's arm, but that was it. Like everything else, they really put a lot of thought into, almost like too much, where he was like intentionally trying to, create catchphrases or gestures even, and like talk through the options with people. He was very, very methodical about the whole thing. That's crazy.
The voice and mannerisms, I guess, of Ace Ventura came largely from his stand-up act. One of his characters had that sort of speech pattern, and the Alrighty then came from that as well. So that was sort of a Jim Carrey special. The whole scene where Ace does the dolphin expert, right?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That was cut out of the theatrical version, is what I saw, and then it was added back. It was added back in for the videotape release in June of '94. I don't ever remember seeing it without that character, though.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I noticed it right away when we watched it. And then when that scene was over and it cut to like, him driving or something, I was like, we're missing a whole chunk.
Yeah, the version of it that I watched today didn't have it in it either, and I noticed it right away too, that it was missing.
Okay.
Well, to your point, Brennan, earlier, when you were saying like the tight edit, the 86 and the 96, Shadyak, he said his catch, or one of his like axioms is, if you can't decide, cut it out. And they did, it seems like a lot of that. So he kind of cut it out, but it
was hilarious.
He was like, it doesn't add anything to the story. And he was I think he was concerned that this was sort of like a screwball comedy, and he wanted to make sure there was a storyline that was like,
it's an hour and a half. You can have a 2-minute scene where someone's a nut job for,
no, I'm with you. But I mean, obviously reached that same conclusion because he put it back. But that's the scene. I mean, it's of the scene, the iconic scenes in the movie. There's a million. It's
one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's in the top 3 or 4, right? I mean,
it's super memorable. Jim Carrey. I mean, a lot of this research, I'm sure you guys saw as well. But Jim Carrey based a lot of the Ace Ventura look on a bird, cockatiel or a parakeet of some kind. The clothing he picked out was like a colorful tropical bird. Even the hairstyle was crazy, like, feathers or, weird swoop and whatever. He said that on the Inside the Actors Studio in 1994.
Which I now have on my list that I have to go look up and see. Because, like, after that year...
He had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
What?
Meaning his appearance on the Actors Studio would be good.
Yeah. I can't imagine him with James Lipton.
Maybe that the transphobic and homophobic stuff.
This is one more football thing, I guess. The plot of Ray Finkel missing. How's it over? What's up with the ice over there? You done?
Just having a problem.
You're killing me.
Yeah. It's ambient noise for the podcast.
Yes, that worked so well with the Cannonball Run episode. The plot of Ray Finkel missing the game-winning field goal in the Super Bowl is loosely based on Buffalo Bills kicker Scott Norwood, who missed the field goals. Wide left.
Got it.
I believe. Sean Young is a terrible kicker. And at the time when she had to kick the ball out of the warehouse, she was doubled by Pete Stoyanovich, a place kicker for the Dolphins at the time. Which is hilarious.
Let's talk. I mean, there were a lot of doubles used of her in that warehouse. It was ridiculous.
The continuity supervisor.
It's like in Spaceballs where they catch the stunt doubles. Like, it's so bad.
Yeah.
But it's still great.
Rob, did you ever see, or even Eric, you ever see that video? I remember seeing it on TV, but you can find it on YouTube, and it's funny because it's so ridiculous. Someone's interviewing. There's a video of Jordan and his mom talking about where he got his ability to play basketball and his height and his jumping or whatever. And his mom goes out there and grabs the ball and is like, I taught you all your moves. And she runs out there and does like a two-handed tomahawk dunk or whatever. It's clearly someone who is not her. It's like some guy in a bad wig who runs out there, but they cut it so it vaguely looks like it could have been her, and it's the worst double ever. That's kind of what this reminds me of.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tex Cobb at the beginning, who gets the package from Ace Ventura, and he's got the black eyes.
Yeah.
Totally
real.
He walked to set and he showed up with two black eyes from fighting. So that was not makeup. Yeah. Tex Cobb, for those who don't know, was a boxer as well. And he took the worst beating of anyone I've ever seen in the boxing ring against Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes turned Tex Cobb's face into raw hamburger at the end of but he would not go down. He wouldn't.
It actually, if you were to bring a suit to ban boxing, you would just show this fight.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a nightmare of a fighter, but he couldn't fight. He would just get pummeled.
He just wouldn't go down.
He'll make you get tired by hitting him in the face. Yeah, it's great. The ass talking scene, which is wonderful, started in Living Color in 1990. Frustrated one day with Keenan Ivory Wayne's constant rejection of his pitch sketches, Jim Carrey stood up and read a sketch from his butt in Wayne's direction, and the two almost got into a fight before they talked it out.
Oh my God.
Figured it out. I love that.
I mean, come on. If someone does that to you, like originally and in the moment, can you really be mad at someone
you have to kick them in the ass while they're saying something.
I think it also depends on how close they are. I mean, if you're 6 feet away, fine. If they're 18 inches from your face, like he is in the movie, and
18 inches is like 6 inches from his face.
And if it is done in spite, like to spite the other person, and you're that close, you might get punched. So
I'm going to go ahead and just for the record, I'm going to assume Allison has read a lot of analysis of the situation, not necessarily a lot of real life experience. There's a lot of detail about the distance of someone's butt.
I'm just thinking about what would it take to go from laughing to punching. And I think it's somewhere between 6 feet and 6 inches.
You have two boys who are going to be in junior high pretty soon. You're going to find out.
Yeah. Really.
I don't have any other trivia. There's tons of stuff I'm sure you guys can add if you want.
One of the things that, about some of the detail of the movie that I thought was kind of clever.
Yeah.
One, Lois Einhorn. Einhorn in German means one horn, obviously, but it was which is supposed to be about a unicorn,
right.
Is Einhorn, but the phallus of the horn of the unicorn, so it's supposed to be a foreshadowing of who Lois Einhorn really is. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
On her desk, in the police station, she's got 2 apples and a banana.
Oh my God.
Positioned just a certain way, which is also supposed to be a foreshadowing. But the other thing that I just thought was really clever, and I didn't pick up on it until today, is the guy that he meets with behind the heavy metal club, and helps give him some clues. He calls him St. Francis, which I thought was very clever.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I got. You mentioned some of the other stuff I already had.
I was surprised to find out that the picture of Ray Finkel is Sean Young in a wig and a mustache.
Exactly.
I did not pick that up.
I saw that too. Yeah.
I didn't until I saw it the second time. I'm like, oh my God, that's Sean Young, like in the photo, because it's like such a bad Beatles wig with the mustache anyway. But Brennan, you kind of got all the highlights I had on trivia, but like sort of just general comments about that this script kicked around for so long, and as we already kind of alluded to, they were like thinking, do we make it a straight detective, or do we, make a little bit more, over the top, like they settled, or is it a male lead or a female lead? I mean, they thought of it in all these different sort of modes, but the one thing I kept seeing in different places was the studio really thought this could be like the Fletch of the 90s.
Well, that's kind of how it was written.
That to me, I mean, obviously they were saying that before this was made, but like the two don't compare in my mind at all.
No, they don't. I mean, I want to see what this script was early on and what it really, because there's no way a script that could have been a Fletch or a script that could have been, excuse me, a script that could have been a Sherlock Holmes pet guy. No way that is this. That script had to have been completely overhauled,
Yeah, I think so.
I'll be curious to see that. I did find some interesting casting notes on who was considered or who turned it down for different things. I wasn't even
some of that is insane.
Yeah,
that list is all over the place.
All of it has to be taken with a grain of salt because who knows what's real at this point. So let me go through the Ace Ventura ones.
Okay.
These first 2 I think are real, and then everything after that I think is nonsense. So Rick Moranis and Rob Schneider both turned it down. I think those are real.
Huh.
I believe.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh yeah, God, he would have been terrible. That would have been just not even worth watching.
I can't imagine it.
We recently watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with our boys, and you were angry at that movie.
It was terrible. I mean,
it's always been kind of a bad movie.
Yeah, no.
There's one name in particular that
I know
has to be complete nonsense.
So here's the another one that you could say at the time, because this is 94,
right?
When they were casting it in 93, I don't know. So this other name is possible was Adam Sandler.
That's the only one I saw.
So I'll find a comedic actor or whatever. I get it. These other 3 are ridiculous. I don't believe any of them. And they are in order of nonsense. Judd Nelson. Judd Nelson.
That's the one that I was talking about. Complete insanity.
I think there's the last one I'll get to is the most ridiculous one.
And at first, when you said Judd Nelson for a flash, I'm like Judge Reinhold, like
the Judd
like
Nelson.
I was thinking more Judge Reinhold, and then I'm like, oh no,
Bender.
Oh, no. I know exactly who that is.
Telling the audience, Bender from The Breakfast Club.
It's ludicrous.
I know. Alan Rickman.
Whoa.
I believe that could have been the most mismatched leading man plot
I don't even know who that
ever.
is. I don't know who Alan Rickman is.
Snape from the Harry Potter movies.
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber from Die Hard.
And Die Hard and in the Harry Potter
Love
films
Actually.
and British actor.
Still don't know.
How about the Sheriff of Nottingham from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
Just name some of the most watched movies in the history of the world.
Have you seen Love Actually?
Please proceed.
Rach?
No.
All right.
I don't know if you guys know any of this about me, but I grew up not watching any movies, right? And every time Rob discovers that I have not seen another movie,
you have homework.
We gotta work on Rachel.
No, but I mean, for this evening's proceedings, understand this movie has so far separated itself from the entire canon of amazing movies in Rachel's experience that I find it.
Okay, so Judd Nelson and Alan Rickman, ridiculous.
Okay.
The last one I saw, I don't believe any of this, but the name that came up as a legitimate possibility was Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I saw
Oh my
it.
God, that would have been terrible.
Whoopi frickin' Goldberg.
I mean, to my point earlier about how it kicked around in all these different iterations, like obviously female detective, that's a big enough thing, but like a quiet, mumbling, not overt, like extrovert. I mean, she's an extrovert. I shouldn't say that, but like not a physical comedian.
Even take her at her biggest and boldest, like in the Sister Act or something like that. That doesn't. I don't know how that works for Ace Ventura.
It's a
gotta be a different
movie.
script and a different type of comedy. It's not what we saw.
That's what's so hard with these movies that have changed so dramatically.
Yeah.
I don't know what's real and what isn't. I mean, sure, Alan Rickman. If it was like a hard scrabble fucking what's his name detective,
like a noir film, like Chinatown.
yeah. So that was that. I saw a bunch of names for Melissa, and they all kind of surprised me, but nothing is unusual really here. But
wait till you get to my suggestions.
Well, I'm sure. So Lauren Holly turned down the role of the Courteney Cox Melissa character, but joined Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Right.
Carrie Ann Moss and Téa Leoni were considered for the role as well. All of those I think are fine, but I hadn't seen those before. So, anybody else see any other casting potentials?
Yeah, well, I've got one other, but on Carrie Ann Moss and Téa Leoni, and even Courteney Cox, there wasn't a lot to be demanded, of that role.
It even would have worked.
I mean, other than to laugh at Jim Carrey, right? Which I think she did well.
She plays the straight man for most of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone could have played that role.
The one other, back on Ace, sorry, I forgot to mention this. I had noted that Sandler turned it down.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
you
sorry.
stepped out for a minute.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Everyone's favorite part. It's a recasting debate. It is recast debate.
Oh my.
Better close the door. It's time to recast debate.
This is where it's going to get really off the chain here. We have a main three, and that's Ace Ventura, Melissa Robinson, which I didn't know that was her last name, and Lieutenant Lois Einhorn. And then I've got 4 wild cards. Emilio, which is the Tone Loc character. Dan Marino and Roger Podacter and Sergeant Aguado. That's sure. Let's cast him. Why not? Who cares? So,
I have the biggest, the biggest budget for Sergeant Aguado.
Can we add Aguado to that?
Yeah, no, we have Aguado. You want the landlord?
Oh, well, yeah, Roger.
You want to add
yes,
Shikadance, Mr. Shikadance?
Yes.
Yeah. Ray's been thinking about I've heard the term Shikadance more in the last 48 hours.
There are so many characters to.
When we get down
potentially cast,
when we get down to Roger Podacter and Aguado, then we'll just throw out all the random wild cards that we have. It's fine.
Okay.
Let me write down. Dance. Okay.
Can I at the onset? I just want to note. Well, no, I'll wait till we break down Amelia.
Okay.
All right.
You never disappoint, Rob.
Really? Showstopper.
All right, Ace Ventura. I had a lot of difficulty with this one.
Once I got going, I had found a few.
I thought it was
bless your heart, Allison.
I'd like to offer one suggestion for casting first.
Wait, who?
Yeah, for Ace.
Oh, all right. I guess Ray's kicking off.
I just want to say one name, and then you guys can go.
Why don't you go first, and you can give us all of the ones that you are considering for Ace, the 2 or 3 that you like.
Okay, I shall.
Go ahead.
I think Justin Bieber would be great.
Oh my goodness.
More so for the physicality of his look. He could really
he can really pop and lock.
Yes, and move that body and shake that head. I mean, he could just.
Justin Bieber.
I was not expecting that.
Oh. That is the Zac Efron comment from Cannonball Run.
Well, first of all, that's a whole nother entire episode, but it's not that
Holy
cool.
Christmas. Justin Bieber out of left field.
Oh.
That's why I wanted to get on top of it.
So is that your only Ace, or do you have any other backups?
My other one, and I don't know if Rob, I might be stealing this from Rob because you had suggested this to me and I had agreed. The only character actor that I think could really carry this tune would be Kate McKinnon.
Oh, she was on my list at one point. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm a fan of hers anyway, so put her in whatever movie in any capacity is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last one I would say would be Rebel Wilson.
Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be pretty funny.
Wow. All right.
Different movie.
Okay, so I usually try to stick to the age, as close to the age as I can, within 3 or 4 years usually, let's say.
You and me, Brennan.
I found that extremely hard with Ace. Everybody else, I kind of got there, but the Ace character.
How old was Jim Carrey when he did it? I didn't.
32.
Okay, all right.
So
I
call
feel
it
like I
early
might be in good
mid-30s.
shape, though.
Yeah. So I went with my third place was Mikey Day from SNL. Yep. I thought of the new guys they're new to me at least. He could do it. Almost a throwaway. I'm not sure about this guy, but Andy Samberg.
Yep.
I put in there.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah.
Hey, Brennan, real quick.
Don't interrupt.
No, I want to. On Andy. First of all, of the current comics who can are in movies, comedic actors, I should say.
Andy can do it. Yeah.
The ability to do the joke a minute. He is so good at it. Like, if you haven't seen Popstar,
Never Stop Stopping.
Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Of course.
It is. I mean, the joke per minute ratio there is off the charts.
It's kind of overwhelming. So my number one, and I'm playing a little loose with the age, and to complete my SNL trifecta is Bill Hader.
Yeah,
I'm going Bill Hader.
That's what I suggested. I thought that too, Brendan.
Yeah. I think he checks all the boxes.
Yeah, I had a lot of those on my list. I've got 3 others that I feel could pull it off. Right. One is Max Greenfield from New Girl. He plays Schmidt.
Yeah. Oh. That's good.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah. Number 2 is for our sister Jill, John Mulaney.
I thought about him. I don't know if he can get to that place.
I didn't think he could pick it up enough.
And he's in rehab, so I don't know if he's going to work.
He's out. But my number 1 is Daniel Tosh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, really pulling it out.
I like that one. That's a good little.
And when I came across him, I'm like, oh, he's talking out of his butt for sure. Like that's definitely happening.
Yes, for sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
Eric?
I had a very hard time with this. It was so hard to get past anybody but Jim Carrey in that role.
I cast everybody else before I got to Ace Ventura. I couldn't do Ace until the very end.
Yeah. I did have Andy Samberg was on my list. Another one that I considered somewhat, not necessarily as much as a physical comic, but also somebody who's like a joke a second, just joke after joke after joke. Ryan Reynolds.
That's actually pretty good.
I agree, and I nixed him because of the age. Even though I fudged it a little bit with Bill Hader.
But I think for the character, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's my own personal thing.
And then another name, another Saturday Night Live person that I think could possibly pull it off too would be Kenan Thompson.
Kenan.
Oh, I've got him somewhere else.
Yeah, Kenan's in this movie.
Kenan's in this movie, definitely.
Emilio.
Rob Nash.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I got plenty. I think there's a couple people who could be crazy enough to do it, and then a couple of people that would be like a different interpretation of it. But I said this, you said this for someone else. James Franco, I actually think could do this in a weird way, but it'd be different. I think Rainn Wilson is the person who could be like the put down artist that Ace is.
I think he could be somewhere else too.
I thought Justin Long could do it for a weird reason, but here are the ones I wanted to talk about.
Oh, Justin Long.
Wait,
interesting.
Did you just give us 3 for your honorable mention spot?
Wow. Yes, okay. I did. I want to see Danny McBride do this role.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Because I think it's going to be more profane, but as creative. So, like, I'm excited about it.
All right.
That's a good one.
I just want you guys to know that I put the kids outside of the house today, so Rob could focus on
this. And then, thank you. That's why it's a companionship. It's a partnership. It is a partnership. I also want to see Kevin Hart in this movie, mainly because of his Jumanji. I just like him in he
was pretty funny.
Yeah. And then I thought Zach Galifianakis could do something with it for sure. And then weirdly, finally, James Corden, I thought was
what?
Wow. Person that could do.
But
I really like Danny.
I like that that's where you stop.
I think you buried the lead.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's move on to the Melissa character. That we've already explained is really not a character, just sort of a person who's standing next to Ace.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take myself out right now and say I didn't even do this one because it literally could be anybody.
And that's the right answer. I have 3 names, and I'm gonna just I'm eliminating my third one right now. Just crossed it out because who cares? So I have two. And this is my go-to. Like, apparently if there's a 30-year-old woman in a movie, this person's always on my list, and it's Brie Larson. Was my number two. And then the one I'm going.
Or Jennifer Lawrence. Those
are too good.
Let's just get those out of the way.
She's on there for whatever reason. And then my number one I'm going with is Alexandra Daddario. She was in what's that tsunami movie or whatever with The Rock. She was in Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
So whatever. I mean, I think Eric has the right answer. Is it could be anybody.
Yeah. I don't know where my head exactly was, but I somehow picked all women who were child actresses at one point.
Punky Brewster?
No. I've got, she's probably a little bit too
Soleil
young.
Moonfry?
No. Is Maude Apatow.
Just leave it at Punky.
Maude Apatow. Oh, okay. Judd Apatow's daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like 24.
Yeah.
She'd be good. Yeah, that's good.
Victoria Justice.
Yeah.
And then the one that I thought would be kind of funny is Miranda Cosgrove.
I was going to say iCarly. You had to put her in there.
Yeah. She's like 28 years old, I think.
Carly. Mm-hmm. The Nashers.
You want to do your Courteney Cox's or no?
I don't have many because I agree with everything that you guys said. I would say she can also fit in a lot of different roles in whatever movies you guys talk about. Emma Stone, because she's played it before. I know she's more quality than that, but I just see her next to Jonah Hill, and she could do it next to Justin Bieber.
I thought these both kind of could do it really well for different reasons, so I don't really have a favorite, but Sarah Hyland, is that how you say her name, from Modern Family?
Oh yeah, good one.
She's the older sister.
Yeah.
I thought she could just be the kind of googly eye and loving. And then I thought Chloe Fineman from SNL, who's female
she's
impersonation.
good.
Yeah.
Just has a good comedic sense, I think.
Yeah. Lieutenant Lois Einhorn.
Oh my God.
Oh, get ready. Get ready.
I'm going to go first because my number one, I think, my number one has already been said. But I'll come to that in a second. So my third place and second place, my third place for some reason is Anne Hathaway as Lois Einhorn. Entirely overqualified, but fine. Number two would be Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I don't know who that is.
She's the girl in Scott Pilgrim. Any number of other movies that I can't remember right now, but
Lucy McLean.
What?
Die Hard 4. She's the adult Lucy McLean.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my God, Eric.
I lost track of Die Hard at 3.
No, Eric just placed himself among the 1/10 of 1%.
And then my number one was said for Melissa. I'm using her as Lois Einhorn, and it's Emma Stone.
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
That's good.
Yeah, I think Emma Stone could play multiple.
She could play Ace, Melissa, and Lois.
And Pedactor.
All right. Eric, go for Einhorn.
Okay, I have two names. I decided to go with woman actresses kind of as a joke to the woman actually being a man. I thought of actresses that had sort of a deeper voice. So my two choices are Jennifer Lawrence.
Carol Channing?
Jennifer Lawrence or Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
If this movie had been made a generation earlier, it would have been Kathleen Turner.
That will raise a lot of questions.
Oh, I almost went over the losing it laughter.
Oh my God.
I had a lot of options here. I had a lot of women listed that I've crossed off different names. So I've got Gabrielle Union.
Dwayne,
yeah.
Elizabeth Banks, I think would be hilarious.
Yeah, that's good.
And then my top
really
one that I really like is Christina Applegate.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Okay.
The honorable mention, she's probably a little bit too young, but I think would be so great, is Gal Gadot, which would be so fun. It would be so funny. Yeah.
Wow.
But she's tall and strong, and I like that for the character.
The juxtaposition there would be good, but
I'll go first because then you have a lot. I just have two.
I'm not going through them all.
Oh, you're not. Oh, I saw you list.
I make game time decisions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just have two. One is a little bit old, but Kristen Wiig could certainly.
I had her on my list. Yeah,
that's good.
I considered her.
And Anna Kendrick.
Oh, that
I think.
Yeah.
She's so impish, though. That's the only because I said that too.
I know it's like a little woodland fairy.
Yeah, they didn't have to do some kind of camera work there, but they could do it. They could.
Kickers are small.
Yeah,
I know.
Was that it?
Yeah.
So, I also had Anna Kendrick. I put it on there. I have a couple of funny ones. I saw Liv Tyler today, and I'm like, there's Einhorn. Because there's a little manliness going on there. If I can traffic in the stereotypes. I know. I'm going to stop right there. Then I wanted Lana Del Rey to do it.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Then I thought Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yes.
You know,
oh my God, that'd be funny. Yeah.
I thought she could really nail it.
I like that a lot.
But I want a Melissa McCarthy to do
it. Yes. Why didn't I think of that?
I had thought of her at one point for Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do Ace too.
I think I'm Melissa McCarthy'd out. I need a break from her before I can consider her for anything.
I can't get enough.
I say that though, and even that bad movie where she stole Jason Bateman's ID.
Identity Thief?
Yeah.
Identity. She's so good.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah. Spy is great. The Heat is great. Yeah.
So.
Even when she's like the Girl Scouts coach.
Oh, yeah. The boss or whatever.
Yeah, the boss.
Yeah, that's really good.
She's wearing the turtleneck all the time. I mean, it's funny.
Emilio, a.k.a. Tone Loc.
Yep.
I have three. I hesitate to even say the third one because we bring him up in every single episode of the pod, and I'll say it. Donald Glover.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
I feel like that it should be his role to.
I'm not using him, but he's in the wings if we need him. The one I like is a gender flip, and it's Zazie Beetz from Atlanta and Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that too.
And then just to keep it in the rapper genre, I'm going Chance the Rapper.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of an actor, and let's be honest, we're stretching the term actor here for what Tone Loc did in this movie.
He's integral, man.
He took the butt talk really well.
Yeah, he could go in that red zone that Allison was talking about.
18.
That's 6 inches to 6 feet. He was well.
I think it's the brown zone.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's also Kenan Thompson's role to turn down too. Like I think he's definitely in there. Yes. But the three people I kind of like in this role, I'm a huge fan of Bobby Cannavale in this role.
So this one, age does not matter whatsoever. No. Yeah. But for the record, Tone Loc was 28 in that movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got Martin Lawrence.
Oh my God.
As my second choice. And then musician with kind of a unique voice, I've got Eddie Vedder.
Whoa.
Ooh.
No.
I didn't expect that one.
No, I know.
Boy.
It's just as crazy as seeing Tone Loc playing a cop.
Yeah.
Whew.
I know.
I did see, Brennan, on the trivia side, I did see Shadick talk about how he felt Tone Loc offered enough of a counterweight in terms of star power to Jim Carrey. And I'm like, in what universe was that?
At the time of filming, Tone Loc was the biggest star in this movie.
And that's crazy to me.
Because Sean Young was nothing at this time, even though she, previously had a career. Had a career, really. Yeah,
she had destroyed her career already at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wasn't Courteney Cox pretty big by then?
No, just Friends hadn't hit yet.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, who has Emilio left?
We do.
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I also kept it in the rapper genre, and I went Ice Cube.
That's good.
Yeah.
I also like it from a Law and Order perspective. I think it's fantastic.
I mean, you could go LL Cool J, Method Man, those guys that have acted on Law and Order. Ice-T.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You said Ice Cube. I was thinking Ice T. Sorry. Yeah.
I considered Ice-T because I was going through all the rapper actors, and I considered Ice-T.
Yep.
I would go also on the rapper just to make it easy. And my three are 50 Cent. Kanye West. That would bring it home.
No, that could be amazing.
That could be amazing, really. And then Snoop Dogg. I mean, who doesn't want a Snoop Dogg in your movie?
Me.
Snoop.
I also went all rapper, and mainly to prove I know nothing. But based mainly on the video and the cheekiness, I threw Lil Nas in there.
Oh my God.
You need to say Nas instead of Nas.
Nas.
That's more Chicago than not knowing. Then I wanted to see Big Boy do it as well.
Oh my God.
Your whiteness is hurting me.
Ludacris, I thought could do it actually in a funny way. And then Brendan, for you, I said, why wouldn't we put DMX?
Oh my God.
He would probably be in jail by then. By the time we get him to do the role. Okay, let's move on to Dan Marino.
Got it.
I will keep this short and sweet, but before I do, we keep where's the setting of our movie? Because are we going to keep it in Miami? Does it have to be?
It doesn't matter. No, so it doesn't matter.
If we choose a quarterback in a different city, does the movie move to that city, or does it matter? No.
No, the Super Bowl
does not matter.
It's being held in Miami this year. Yeah,
I agree. Mm-hmm. So I just picked three quarterbacks, and my third place is Russell Wilson. Fine, who cares? Second place could be interesting, going with Cam Newton. My number one, I don't think there's a second place really. It's Aaron Rodgers. I think he has to be the quarterback.
Yeah, the thing, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier, though, is it's all about stealing the team's mascot. So that's where I was struggling with.
So you just make Aaron Rodgers the quarterback of the Dolphins.
Right.
And there you go.
I mean, in the movie, they're taking the actual quarterback from the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Right.
So in this day and age, the NFL is not allowing any of their teams to be used.
That's true.
Fair enough.
The NFL is not licensing their product to this movie, so it could be Aaron Rodgers and just any made up team with any made up mascot.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, then I've got some
Aaron
choices.
Rodgers with the Orlando Wombats or something. Yeah.
All right. Well, the only other one I'd offer up, I had Aaron Rodgers. The other one I'd offer up is Tom Brady, and I want that man to get kidnapped. So, I think that'd be hilarious.
Well, yeah.
I don't mean that literally, but I think
I know. It'd be funny if he was killed in the movie.
Well, I was trying to is he with I kept thinking Tampa Bay Devil Rays, but I know that's baseball.
Yeah.
But I was trying to match animals for a team to make it work with the movie and the quarterback. And have it be such a popular one like Dan Marino was.
I was assuming let's keep it Miami. Let's keep it the Dolphins if we have some magical licensing. And then whatever quarterback you want, throw it in there. Because the current quarterback of Miami, you don't want to have as the guy. It's got to be someone famous and with a personality.
I had also thought about, because it would be tied with the Super Bowl, that it would be an announcer, that would be doing it. So I had Deion Sanders, who sometimes does NFL color commentary.
I wouldn't mind seeing,
or Brett Favre.
I thought about Favre, but he's so old.
But I was thinking about it from the commentary. He's an announcer for the Super Bowl and somehow gets kidnapped.
I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but I would love to see a Gronkowski is kidnapped. That'd be awesome.
Oh my God, that would be good. That would be really good. He would love it too.
All right, Rob,
he would be smiling the whole time.
Rob, why don't you dive in and do yours?
Real quick, I mean, if you wanted, I think they picked Marino in part because he was so well known. Tom Brady comes to mind, obviously, for that. But I have two different versions. So, under the theory that the part could actually be more than Dan Marino made it, I'm going to throw Tony Romo in there. I think he would yuck it up a little bit.
Not a Tony.
And then just to be annoying, Jay Cutler should be.
That's just your own personal movie.
Yeah.
I would say one person you're forgetting who would be a great sport and I think would be funny, could be more, is Peyton Manning.
That's who I was thinking about too. That's who I was going to say.
That's really good, Rach.
I limited myself to current quarterbacks because Dan Marino was playing at the time. Yeah. That's all right. Peyton Manning, fine. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I had considered Peyton Manning too, but I discarded him for that reason because he's not playing anymore. 5 years ago, definitely. So my choice, I was like Allison. I went with Tom Brady because he's done he's acted and stuff before. He could kind of step into that and do okay. I think as good a job as Dan Marino did anyway.
Low bar.
Dan Marino is a great thespian. Okay. This one has gotten a lot of attention already. Just some mentioning in the background here and there. Roger Podacter.
Yep.
I'll start. I have one name and one name only, and I'm going with Kevin James.
That's fine.
I think I didn't have any other thoughts on it, and when I came up with him, I'm like, oh, nailed it. He's perfect. Got it. Easy. Great.
That's what I had.
I'm sorry, Rach, you were going to go?
No, I just said that's what I had too.
Damn right.
So I have two names. The third one I'm not even going to say. Two names of Joe Rogan and Matt LeBlanc.
Ooh, Matt LeBlanc. That's a good one.
Joe Rogan one is interesting. I don't know why that.
I don't know either, but I kind of like the idea that he's in this movie.
The Matt LeBlanc one, I don't know about that guy, but Joe Rogan, it's a whole different actor.
I have a couple here. I won't go through them all, but I have two very distinct. I think Eric Stone Street could do this.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Right.
You know, from Modern Family, and
Oh, yes.
I also, but I love this. And this is because I was looking at other things. Ruben Studdard.
What?
You might as well have just named one of your neighbors, because that's how connected Ruben Studdard is to this industry.
I don't know who that is.
Ruben Studdard was like American Idol season 2
What in the world?
or something like that.
Oh, Ruben Studdard, like
a bigger roly poly.
Black guy?
Yeah, black
The
guy.
Velvet Teddy Bear.
That's right. Thank you, Eric.
Well, I mean, we can make that happen. I think.
I think Ruben Studdard is looking for a gig.
I think he will take your phone call. Good God, I didn't expect that one.
Wow. Did Eric go?
Eric, did you give us a Roger?
I did not bother with the Roger Predactor, but Kevin James is perfect.
Yeah, I like that one. I have one name for Sergeant Aguado as well. And this guy, I just want to put in every movie. So I'm doing Paul Giamatti as Aguado.
I had that one as well, Brent.
Rachel, you are coming on the next episode of this podcast just because we are so in sync.
You're like right in sync.
Seriously, it's scary.
So for Aguado, I've got Wendell Pierce.
Yeah. He's good.
J.K. Simmons.
He is on the top end of the age consideration there. Whew.
And then Thomas F. Wilson.
Who is that?
From he's Biff from
Biff.
Back to the Future.
Yeah. Sure.
Great.
That would be the best.
I like that one. God, these are so good.
Who knew we were going to pull out a Biff and a Justin Bieber in this whole thing?
And a Ruben Studdard.
Ruben's.
Yeah. Thank you. Again.
I still refuse to believe that.
All right, Eric, go on your.
I do not have an Aguado.
That's right.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Well, my Aguado. So, I have a couple here, and one is Paul Giamatti is good. Also, I felt like Jonah Hill could play.
Yeah.
He could also play Roger Predactor as well. I feel like. Tiffany Haddish.
That would be really good, where it's just making fun of him the whole time, like getting in his face and making fun of him. I love it.
I like that one.
I like that a lot.
I was trying to put her. I was trying to find a place for her somewhere else in the movie, but yeah, that would be good.
Tiffany.
I wanted to put her somewhere.
And I think I stole this from Rob. I don't know if it's this person's on your list, but Rainn Wilson, I think would be good in this role.
I think Rainn Wilson is one of Aguado or Predactor. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
I looked at this guy and he actually delivers the jokes that aren't great, but he delivers them well. But I thought, and a couple, this is the most expensive Aguado salary section you can possibly think of. I thought Elliot Gould could be Aguado.
Is he alive?
I'm not sure. He's out of their age range.
He's
for sure. But then
he's collecting his pension for quite a while now.
Yeah. Billy Gardell, who is from Mike and Molly, like.
Oh yeah.
I thought he could do it, And then I thought Michael Chiklis could do it. Done The Shield, like a tough.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Commish.
Yeah.
Wash
All right,
to do
that brings us to random wild cards. I have none, but if you have a shika dance in your sleeve, now's the time to pull it out. Or whoever.
I've got a Ron Camp, and I've got, of course, Mrs. Finkel.
What's a Ron Camp?
He's the rich guy at the party with the cane.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I really got only two serious ones. One, I think Gary Cole would be like a great, like smarmy old rich guy.
Yeah.
But Alfred Molina would be good in that role.
Love Alfred.
Yeah, he comes up a lot. Or often enough. Rachel, you have a shika dance?
Oh yes. This is a stretch, but hear me out on this one. If you liked Justin Bieber, you're gonna love this one. I think Flava Flav would be great for Mr. Doing. You need some old creepy dude bugging you when you're trying to get home at night. Hey. Here's some scratching around in there.
Oh my God.
And he'd, have to wear his clock necklace and everything.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Rachel she wins the prize for out of the box thinking.
Oh my God.
Episode.
Yes.
Yes.
Holy
God.
cow.
That's so good. So I've got a Mrs. Finkel.
Oh yeah.
Actually I have no limit on my budget for at least a couple of these. One is Catherine O'Hara. 2, Shelley Long.
Yeah.
I think I could do it. And then one that I started laughing at because I could only imagine her saying, what a sports nut, huh? Was Frances McDormand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's the best right there.
Sports nut.
Oh, that's so good.
Nailed it.
So when I said what I'm like, I started laughing at one of my choices. It was Frances McDormand.
Yeah. Nailed it.
I mean, talk about overpowering the role.
I know. But she could, that's
yeah, we may have to secure some extra financing on the back end of the casting process here.
I know. That's all I got.
I do love, I'm trying to think of, even the doctor, when they go to the, psycho ward.
Oh, yeah.
And he does the whole football thing with the doctor. I mean, he's not really that important, but.
That guy was a common character actor, though, at the time.
Any other randoms for recasting, or do we move on to quotes?
Yeah, not for me.
This movie is chock full of quotes. Every scene has a memorable quote or a memorable scene or an interaction. Something stands out in every single scene. I'll just run through a few of the most obvious ones, and then you guys can start spouting them out as well. But alrighty then, that's the one, right?
And that's how he says it too, by the way.
Alrighty then.
I'm not gonna try to do that right now. Who's her?
A loser. Who's her?
That's one.
Yeah.
Really? That's a good one.
That's a good one.
And then the one I always laugh at, I don't know that this qualifies as a memorable quote, but it is to me. And it's at the beginning when he gets payment for returning the dog. And she says, "Should I take your pants off?" And he's like, sure.
Yeah.
And then when he's swinging around off the top of that door frame and he says, "For the love of Pete," I laugh every single fucking time. The love of Pete. You people are real friendly around here.
Would you like for me to take your pants off instead?
Gee, let me think. Sure. Oh, jeez. Oh, Pete! We're real friendly around here.
There are 2 to 3 quotes that are regularly said in our house. One is
Holy Testicle Tuesday.
No. Okay, so 4. Is gotta package people.
Yeah.
Gotta package people!
For sure. Number 2, they're little footballs.
Yep.
What do you know? They're little footballs.
Is definitely said.
Little footballs.
Definitely said. And then if you see it on a menu, it's offered to you in any way, New England clam chowder. It's always followed up with the question, is that the red or the white?
New England clam chowder. Is that the red or the white?
What's the password? New England clam chowder. Is that the red or the white? I can never remember that. White?
I mean, seriously, I can't look at a menu and see New England clam chowder and not think of that scene.
Well, I mean, do not go in there.
Woo.
It's got
Do not go in there. Yep.
Do not go in there. Woo!
I mean, this we don't have a lot of quotes. I have a couple of quotes. We don't give them to our kids, but I love it. Like, where's the bathroom? And then he just does the cramping sound. Yeah. It just, I mean.
Excuse me, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
I can't count the number of times when swimming out of our parents' house we're in the lake, and I'd be like, our sister Susan and I would be sort of treading water in front of each other, and we'd both be like, "It's not Snowflake.
It's not Snowflake."
Not Snowflake.
Oh.
And then we'd be like, "It's not Snowflake," and we'd be paddling against the
right
against the shark.
Out.
Laces out, of course.
Finkel, Einhorn.
Finkel, Einhorn. I also like the coach. You gotta let me in, coach. You know, the whole scene of him doing the thing. But I also love, do you know the dolphin? Does he call you at home?
Where is Snowflake?
Why do you care about the dolphin? Do you know him? Does he call you at home? Do you have a dorsal fin?
The Chitty Chitty Bang Bang song in the car
yeah.
is fantastic. I like that one.
Well, how about Just Wait Longer?
Well, yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Okay, would this movie work today if it was made more or less as is?
Yeah. I mean,
we touched on it a little bit. I don't know the LGBTQ.
You got to change some of that, sure.
Yeah, some of that. So yeah, doing it as is.
No, yeah,
probably not.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, not a full overhaul, but you got to tweak some things just for the times.
Yeah,
sure.
I think the issue is the reaction. To when people find out who Lois Einhorn really is.
Oh.
I think beyond that it might work, but it's the reaction that, you know, the scene where everybody's like spinning and all of that stuff. That won't fly anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean that the plot. I thought my point, like, after looking at it in more depth, there are movies like this, like they're not very often, you know, like maybe every 5 or 7 or 10 years, where there's like such an overpowering, like, individual performance where you're like, that's crazy, right? Like, it wasn't the greatest movie of all time in terms of plot or story, but like
memorable
characters.
It
was a great performance.
Yeah.
So like, if anyone ever offers a performance like that in any time, then like, yeah, you can remake this movie because it's going to be great. But yeah, it's outdated for sure.
Why don't you cry about it? Saddlebags. Betty.
Oh my God.
What would you want to see in a sequel if there isn't one already. There obviously is one.
Yeah.
Is there a Ace Ventura story out there that needs to be made?
Like Young Ace, where it's he's a kid.
Prequel, I don't know if I'm going to go with
They did that.
They did?
Yep.
Oh my God.
And if I came across it when I was looking this movie up, it ranks a whopping 2.1 on IMDb. So
yeah, it's not good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not a high ranking.
No.
It is, Ace Ventura Jr. Pet Detective, released in 2009.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe the answer is not, but I mean, you could certainly do a sequel. It has to have Jim Carrey and just insert whatever sort of animal crisis and then, or animal, detective situation, and he's there, right?
Where it becomes a family business, and so he's got a child that is also doing this. So it's a father, daughter, father, son.
No way, man.
No, I think if this is, it's almost on the lines of like a James Bond franchise where he just has a different adventure. It's the same person, sort of
That's
different adventure kind of thing.
He gets a different case each time and he has to go solve it.
Yeah.
Or maybe Ace Ventura fathers Ryan Fellows.
Rachel's thinking franchise.
How is Tracy Morgan not in this movie?
She's like, Tracy Morgan.
Who is a source of comedy other than Ace Ventura in this movie, though? Like, there's bits here and there, but I think Tracy Morgan's overpowering, All right.
Yeah, it's really on.
The How Much Are They Worth game.
And now, let's play the How Much Are They Worth game.
I've got 5 here, and they are Tone Loc, Sean Young, Dan Marino, Courteney Cox, and Jim Carrey.
All right.
Let's start with Tone Loc.
All right.
Yeah, I just said Tone Loc.
Right down.
I was supposed to write that.
Yeah. I mean,
did he have more? He had like 2 albums that I know of, maybe, and that was it. I don't know.
What kind of price can you really put on a Funky Cole Medina?
He had more than that, dude. He had more than Funky Cole Medina.
I understand.
A lot of voice work.
He had one other that was a major one.
Yeah, there you go.
He did
exactly.
I know there's another one. Sorry, forgive me. It's not on the top of my head.
2 big songs.
Wild Thing.
I don't know where to start with this guy, but I've got a number.
I've written something down.
I got a number.
He's got more in his filmography. Whoa.
So Nash is
138 titles.
Nash is write down your numbers so we don't prices right each other.
Yeah. We got it.
All right. Eric, what do you got?
I'm going to say 2 million.
I had 10.
I've got 15.
I had 9.
I had 8.
Oh my God. I just got prices righted twice. All right. Tone Loc is an American rapper and actor who has a net worth of $1 million. Eric wins.
Wow.
I don't believe it. Eric, that is a hollow victory.
He's got 138 titles on IMDb.
Yeah. I feel like that's
He spent it all.
It's a lie.
Doesn't know how to manage it.
Oh my goodness!
Problem with rappers these days.
What kind of titles are they? Is it like voiceover work? Is he actually is he acting? What is it?
I believe it's voiceover work, right, Al?
Some of it's voiceover work. He was in a lot of TV shows.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper, something like that.
Doing a lot of like performances in movies. It looks like.
And street corners.
Oh, apparently. Is it acting credits or is it like
That's
him
what I'm
being
looking through. So
credited on the soundtrack?
Some of it's writing, some of it's performer.
I think that's a lie and inaccurate. $1 million. Give me a break.
All right. The correct answer is who cares? Let's move on. Sean Young, who is certainly on the list of promising careers who threw it away because she's completely insane and should have been a huge star and was not.
Is that the real case, though?
I didn't know who she was.
No, I mean, I knew that she had that reputation, but like, what happened? I know she did the crazy Catwoman
I think
thing.
that was the beginning of the end right there. But I think she was notoriously difficult to work with and had weird demands. And I think I read that she does have some sort of
mental health issues. I don't know if they're documented or not, but it's been talked about.
I feel like that applies to a lot of people in Hollywood.
What's the Catwoman thing?
She wanted. I don't know if I know it for sure. She wanted the part so badly that she showed up at Joel Silver's house, the producer, I think, and in a Catwoman outfit, uninvited.
Yeah, she wanted to be Catwoman, and she showed up to Joel Silver's. She also did like a talk show, like a Joan Rivers talk show or somebody, and she came out in the Catwoman outfit and was complaining about the whole thing again. And I went to Michelle Pfeiffer, but she thought she was owed the Catwoman part. And
yeah, she was originally. I had heard it that she was trying. It was Tim Burton, and Tim Burton was hiding under his desk to avoid her.
There you go.
Wow.
But she was originally cast as Vicky Vale in the first Batman movie and broke her arm or something and couldn't do it. So then when the sequel came around, she thought she was essentially owed Catwoman.
I
wanted it that bad.
Better than Kim Basinger. That would have been interesting.
How dare you?
All right, I've got a number.
Young. I should write down a number here. Yeah, I'm going to do... And I don't even know where this number comes from. This is completely out of my...
All right.
Yes.
Rob, you start. Sean Young.
$6 million.
Al.
8.
I had 14. Definitely too high, I think. Rach.
I had 10, which I think is too high.
Eric.
5.
Damn it! I have overbid.
She's got a lot of titles on her IMDb.
That's what I'm thinking, but Sean Young,
122 actress,
has a net worth of $3.5 million.
Wow.
Eric takes that one.
Dear Lord.
Eric's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
I was dropping the ball left and right last time, so I'm making up for last week.
But the real question is she a replicant? I think that was just for me and Eric and Nash.
No, I got it. Blade Runner. Sure.
Dan Marino.
Oh, dude.
Who I do not know.
All that isotoner money. So hard to tell.
Yeah, Eric, do I feel like that's like a Scientology type thing now? Like where he never actually makes any money off it?
It's a pyramid scheme, and he's at the top of the pyramid.
He got free gloves for life, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Ace Ventura.
Does he do announcing? Is he like
I have to believe he does some of that, but I don't know. I mean, he's not a national guy, as far as I know.
He was in Bad Boys 2.
Jeez.
I mean, he was a studio guy for CBS.
Oh, that's right. He was on the NFL show on Showtime.
Yeah, well, he's one of the best quarterbacks, but he stopped playing in '97 or whatever.
Yeah. I've got a number.
This one's hard.
This number could be anywhere. He must have a Dan Marino steakhouse in Miami somewhere, right? Come on.
Or a car dealership or something.
I think it's actually a youth hostel.
Whoa. I don't know where to go with this number.
Just write one down. Oh, man.
Okay. Whew. I overbid again. I'll start. I have Dan Marino down at 71 million.
Whoa.
What?
Wow.
I've got 30 written down.
Eric?
I thought 40.
Robert?
I went in at a svelte 22.
While we were talking, I started with 50, then I went to 35, then I went to 26, and I ended at 17.
Wow. Christ almighty. I thought about getting in the 50s, and then I went insane for a minute. Dan Marino has a net worth of $50 million.
Oh my God. My initial thought.
Which,
again, I find that
Eric, it's a threefer.
Cheater.
I'll bet well over half that money is from his analyst work and not his football playing days.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, I was expecting a lot of it to come from other sources. Yeah.
That's a lot of money, though.
17 years season. 17 years. Wow.
He played for way too long. I remember that.
Yeah. Okay. Courteney.
Oh my gosh.
Don't call me Cox.
So, do we have Courtney and Jim left?
Yes, sir.
First name basis.
I mean, this is a battle of the titans.
Yeah, those are going to be two big numbers. She could potentially be worth more than he is.
I think Eric. I think she has.
He's been MIA for a decade, right? I mean,
I know, but I mean, I don't know how he. And he did so many of those amazing movies in like 2 years. So was he ramping up enough? You know what I mean?
Well,
like they could have got $5 million for Ace Ventura and $5 million for Dumb and Dumber.
But I think right after that, he was getting $1 million here, $2 million there, and then the next year he was getting $15 million. Or
yeah, like Liar Liar was like a $20 million movie.
Cable Guy was the first ever $20 million.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cable Guy.
She was in Masters of the Universe.
Yes, she was.
And that's where she made her money.
Wow.
But I mean, the Friends money is the money.
And it's still rolling in. She's getting residuals from that big time. She's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. Maybe not now, but she'll die a billionaire if she lives long enough.
Plus, she had that other TV series that she had a couple years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
She was on Family Ties.
She was in the...
But, I mean, Friends alone is $20 million a year.
She was in all the Scream movies.
Oh, fuck. I got to make this... This number has to be bigger than this.
I mean, it's a crazy number.
All right, I've got a really crazy
Is this going to be a Scorsese situation?
I don't know. I've written down
Brendan, I think it can be.
I have what I think is an insane number, but it might not be insane.
Ah.
Oh, Oh my God. Let's start with Rachel.
Oh God. I'm going to say 80 mil.
80.
Uh-oh.
I know. Doesn't bode well for my number.
It might be low. I don't know. I don't know.
Rob?
I'm going to say she's worth $205 million.
I said 201. Thank you.
I said 200.
Oh my God.
I'll say 175.
F you. Oh. Courteney Cox has a net worth of $150 million.
I doubt that.
Which
I had written down
it's widely reported that she makes $20 million a year.
Eric, I hope you have a rally cap on of some sort because you are 4 for 4 and going for what I'm going to just assume is the first ever sweep of this game. So
right. Eric is saying the first one on this last one.
Yeah. So Jimmy Carrey.
Is he selling his paintings?
Yeah, but I don't think for any real money though.
Jim Carrey.
He's got all that in living color money though, so that's what.
Does he? Is he even on there?
Yeah. Jim Carrey's career stretched like from the mid '80s.
Well, he had that run on Leave It to Beaver in the 50s. That was awesome.
He was in one of the Dirty Harry movies.
Yeah, he was. The one with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, the Deadpool, I think.
Movies like Mr. Popper's Penguins. Those kid movies.
Fucking hell.
So but Brendan, this year, that 94, it was Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask. Then he did Liar Liar and Bruce Almighty.
Like Me, Myself, and I.
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
Cable Guy.
Yeah, Cable Guy.
Batman Forever.
The Grinch.
The Grinch.
Oh, The Grinch.
He was in all the Avengers movies. He did all the Harry Potters.
Yeah, The Moon was a good
Batman
movie.
Forever. He was
Oh, Truman Show.
He was in Avatar.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah. No.
Oh my Bruce Almighty.
Wow, that's a lot of.
Yeah, all right.
There's a divorce in there too.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cannonball Run.
Citizen Kane.
Oh,
all right. I've written down it.
Oh man!
I got a number.
I don't like this one. Eric, what's your number?
I'm going to say 125.
God, I'm in trouble.
Al, what's your number?
I wrote down 250.
Really?
I took the divorce into consideration, and I went 196. Right?
150.
And
I checked in at 187.
Please be higher than 190. Oh, let me look at this again. Okay. Jim Carrey has a net worth of $180 million.
Wow.
So Eric wins 4-1.
Wow.
Nice.
Who's her?
Who's her? Wow. So Courteney Cox, that number is wrong. Let's be clear.
What was hers again? 150?
150. I mean, that's a huge number.
It's a big number.
But
it's got to be bigger.
All those,
because she was making $1 million plus per episode,
and
right?
she was producing and getting all some sort of credits on those other shows she was on or behind.
She also had a divorce, though.
Yeah, but she prenupped that.
But Friends still produces $20 million per lead star every year today.
Friends is a behemoth.
Yeah, call it maybe, but at the latest season 3 of Friends out of 10, $1 million an episode, so like $25 million a year for 7 years.
Yeah,
that's almost $200 million right there. Plus all the residuals afterwards. Friends alone should put her. You would think would put her well over $200 million.
All right. Rachel, get Courtney on the phone. Let's talk this out. For Christ's sake.
I'm on it.
All right. Well, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Final thoughts.
I mean, I'll say what I said before. I enjoyed it again. It's been 10 years since I've watched this movie, I think. I still laughed at a lot of the same parts, and you kind of forget almost when you're quoting something, like it becomes just a part of the language or the dialogue, but you realize it came from this movie.
Yeah.
I think this, I mean, like you said, it essentially gets better with age. Of course, some of the themes and details at the end are questionable, but
they don't age
as
well.
far as the funny parts, it's funnier now than it's ever been. I like it more now than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm trying to think, though, if you think between 94 and today, what was like the most overpowering comedic performance in that time frame? And I can't think of anything that
I think Austin Powers was around this time.
That's the only one that I can.
Yeah, but I kind of think that's like contemporary. But yeah, that would be a good one. But I mean, other than like in the 2000s, I can't. Or 2010s, I guess. I can't think of one.
After this, everything was such an ensemble. I mean, you go Anchorman, you go the Judd Apatow movies, you go, I don't know what, Hangover. I mean, none of them have that singular character that was so well defined.
Rushmore.
Wes Anderson's a different animal. Come on.
Oh, are you?
All right. Well, that's.
All right. I'll give I got 2 final thoughts on Ace Ventura.
All right.
I remember when the movie came out, and like I had, I guess not recently, but I had become aware and was greatly enjoying In Living Color, not knowing anything about. We had mentioned Jim Carrey had quite a career going on for a while before that, but I had only known him from In Living Color, and being a kid, I thought that was really the only thing he ever did. So then In Living Color ended, and then Ace Ventura came out right after. And I remember, I think I even said it out loud. Well, the first time I saw a commercial for Ace Ventura, and it's like, oh, he's making movies now. He's going to be huge. Yeah. And which is kind of a naive thing to say, because that movie was completely insane, and it could easily have just been not worked at all, but it just happened to be right. But it was. I remember seeing it that time. That was my knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
To Jim Carrey, because I thought he was so insane and so funny that was the only result that could come from that movie, because he was just so insanely funny.
I keep wondering or waiting for the next, breakout comedic actor performance in a movie like this, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. It hasn't happened in a while, and I mean, just by the fact when we recast this movie, we couldn't find anybody who was a young comic for the most part to fill these shoes or to do a wacky performance like this. I mean,
right.
It's sort of a one of one.
Yeah. He's kind of a comedic unicorn.
Mm-hmm. An Einhorn.
Einhorn, if you will.
Yeah. The other thing that I want to mention about this movie, and watching it today, I had forgotten about it, but watching it today reminded me of it, and it made me laugh. The fist fight between Jim Carrey and Sean Young, how she's fighting like a man, and everybody thinks it's a woman, and then even like Dan Marino's like having trouble with the lady Ace, and he's like he's like completely exhausted, and she's beating the shit out of him. So you don't understand.
Yeah. Well, when she's walking into that warehouse, she's walking differently than she does through the rest of the movie. I mean, it's much more of a man's walking into the warehouse when she's not being watched.
Twinkle, Einhorn, twinkle, Einhorn.
Than the rest of the movie.
You ever walked with that?
It always made that part of the movie always makes me laugh. Is just
having trouble with
Ace getting his ass beat.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Ace Ventura.
Rachel, any final comments on this movie?
I mean, I can't really put my finger on it, but it's just some movie to me that is just, I think, and I don't know if this is true, but I'd like to think that this started my sense of humor. There was some type of funneling of what I thought was funny, and just, not watching a lot of movies and not having a lot. This was something that like really struck my fancy. And I know this is cheesy, but this is totally what the coreness of his character and how committed he was made me feel like, I don't know, if I would chat with anyone, one of my cousins who actually ended up going to Miami for graduate school, we had a bond over this movie, and there just wasn't a lot of people, I don't know, that I could talk to about it or whatever. I was able to bond with some friends and cousins and stuff over. I just have fond memories of it. It's like, I don't know. It's just my childhood, I guess I could say.
Yep.
So it's more than, I guess, just a movie. I know that's cheesy, but it's true.
It's more than a movie.
It's a good song.
All right. We're ending on that.